Well, wars and rumors of wars, huh? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. How are you all today? I hope you're well. It's a beautiful rainy day. The kind of day that I love. One of my favorite kind of days. It's a slow rain. It's going to last all day long. It's not going to let us do any outside work today, so it's throwing us back. But God gives us the day we need. So I'm sure that I'm going to be able to put this day to good use, even though we're not going to be able to get out and hang Christmas lights. For those of you stone modders, the stone mod family, you're keeping up on things. Everybody's getting better except Kelly. Kelly let it go too long, and she's got full blown pneumonia now. Prayers are welcome. They told her she should be in the hospital, but of course she's a hardhead, and so she won't. And so she's home taking all the meds and sleeping and doing her best. And so I'm sure she'll come out of this okay, but she's having a rough time now. Uh, Wars and rumors of wars. I got up this morning. I don't think I put out a video for a couple of days. We've just been busy, and so the first thing I see on the news aggregators, I always check a couple of news aggregators, and then I'll kind of go down through the just peruse the titles of a lot of the videos on YouTube to see what's going on in the YouTube world. Um, and on in the news, I find that all of the football teams are doing the Trump dance. That seemed to be the big story there, and and in the YouTube world, it seems that everybody wants to talk about an impending nuclear war with Russia or the increasing war. And I know that, and I'm not diminishing the concern on that. I know exactly what it has to do with. It has to do with the fact that Biden came out and has now given permission to our great ally, Ukraine. You heard the dripping sarcasm there, I hope. That that corrupt CIA installed regime over there under the high heeled dancer Zelensky, uh, the center of human trafficking and um, corruption and Burisma and Hunter Biden and payoffs and uh, all sorts of those bio labs, right? That wonderful democracy over there. Um, yeah, so he has that we have been providing all of the aid to billions of dollars of your children's and grandchildren's future tax money, enslaving our people further. And he has given the great Biden has given them permission to use some of our weapons offensively into the heartland of Russia. What an idiot. I and many other people have said for a long time that the Democrats want a war. They need a war. They were going to have a war if they won. They thought they were going to win this last election, and so they were going to be able to just continue this process of making money off of war. And since Trump stomped her butt, now they've got to do something. They want war. They want to destabilize the incoming Trump administration. And so they're like a bunch of babies who are just gonna, if I tell you what, if they can't have the boat, they're gonna put a hole in the boat to sink it. Uh, and so that's what they've done. And we know. I'm not going to go through all the political stuff. People have you probably know all that. And if you don't, people are going to drumbeat this to death anyway, talking about all the little intricacies of what's going on and what's not. Here's the thing. I won't say that those things don't matter. They did matter at a time. They don't matter now. And I think that's what people who are truly interested in preparedness need to understand. We can go round and round the merry-go-round on this stuff about what should have been, what why they're doing this, and I get sick of the constant question of why. You know, people are so consumed with why that they stop short of addressing the what. It's kind of like every time there's some kind of shooting that the FBI is involved in. This all came from the FBI, and now it's dribbled down into local agencies. We didn't used to care that much about why somebody killed somebody. You know, we cared about finding out who did it and then taking care of it. But now the whole world is consumed with why. So somebody goes in and shoots up a place, and it seems like the big concern is we're just trying to find out the motive. Screw the motive. They did it. Now take care of the situation. I know. If we can identify the motive, we might be able to identify, interventional techniques. I get all that, all right. But at a certain point, you have to just stop wondering about the why and dealing with the what. So we know that the Dems have won. The Democrat Party is the party of war. Think about what's the last war the Democrats didn't start either directly or by their actions that pretty much ensured that there had to be a war. You know when the last one was? That war that they improperly called a civil war. That's right. That was started by a Republican. What's his name? Abraham Lincoln, the scoundrel. Oh, I just shocked some people here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, by the way. And if that shocked you, what I just said about they improperly called it a civil war, that it was the Republicans that started it, and that Lincoln was a scoundrel, read more into history because you've been lied about that war along with everything else that you were taught for the most part, and that's. Or read my books. If you'd like to read my books, I cover a lot of that in my books because it's important. It's important to know that stuff. It's important to understand that stuff. If you don't understand the truth of something, all of the opinions you arrive at are based on a faulty foundation, and the truth will set you free. You need the truth. So back to this wars and rumors of wars that everybody wants to scare you about, and it's going to be good fodder for the YouTube channels for a while. Here's the thing. They've been poking the bear for a long time, the bear being Russia. And we have been wanting war, and NATO has been encroaching, and NATO wants war because they want Big Brother America to come over and defend them from whatever. What they want is our money, essentially. And I'm not going to go through the whole background of what's happened, why we are the ones who have encroached on Russia and all that. Study it yourself if you're willing to find the truth. But what happens now is that if they do strike with these weapons into Russia, Putin has said that he will consider that an act of war, and he should. Simple as that. And he should. Excuse me. Let me take a sip out of the shot placement as everything mug. So what happens now? Trump. I'll insert just a little bit of politics here. Trump can have a great effect on what's going on over there right now. Just like as he already has. He has already got people running for the woods just knowing that he's coming in. If they have given up on thinking that they can kill him, and I'm sure they still hope they can, but it's not working out that way. He can send through back channels he'll communicate with Putin. He says he'll tell him I'm going to take care of this. He'll communicate with Zelensky. I assume, right? If I were Trump, I would say, you shoot one of those aggressively into Russia and try to start a nuclear war that you want us to participate in with you, first off, we ain't doing it. Secondly, uh, no more sugar daddy money. No more. You're cut off. You're cut off, and I will bring out the truth of you and your money laundering operations and your drug operations and your human trafficking operations, and how the CIA installed you after overthrowing the duly elected president of Ukraine. And I will realign your ass big time. That's what I would do, and I wouldn't doubt that Trump will do that. But make no mistake, the Democrats are going to push everything they can. They're sending as much money as they can over there before Trump gets in. They're sending as much armament over there as they can before Trump gets in, because they want it. Okay, and it's amazing how war is so often the answer for Democrats. It was the answer to take everybody's mind off the economy, as it always is. It was the answer for them and their cronies to make billions more dollars, okay, in the military industrial complex. Um, and now that they're not in, it's a way for them to try to destroy the country under the guy who kicked their butts. Folks, you gotta realize this is what happens, that there is a difference. And one of the things that I meant to say about this is this could have been avoided. The reason that it's got to this point is because the Democrats were allowed to be in control. Here's something, I'm going to say something about politics that has everything to do with preparedness. And so many preppers who consider themselves preppers just refuse to see, either can't see it or refuse to see it. And that is the best thing you can do for your long-term preparations is to be politically involved. And you've heard me rant about these people. I consider them quitters and bench sitters, those who are intellectually lazy and morally weak, and they won't be involved in politics. Their excuse being they're just above that, and politics is all a scam, and politics is all this. And as a result of not taking a side, they always help the more corrupt and oppressive side. Those 1/3 of gun owners, those 1/3 of evangelical Christians, those 1/3 of, probably more than that, half of preppers, who just won't vote because they have found something that they don't like about Trump. Right? They have an inability to see the greater good of the man and the policies, because they didn't like his position on bump stocks, or they didn't like warp speed, they didn't like this, they didn't like that. These people are weak. They're responsible for what's going on now. Your first fight, the first thing you do in your preparedness plan, okay, is to align yourself with the will of God. The second thing you do is involve yourself in the political process of your country, because that is what determines the atmosphere in which you need to prepare. There is no way around that. The ignorance of people who don't see that is beyond my comprehension. But they don't, because they'd rather be wrapped up in their little ball of negativity about how they're going to go out and live in the woods with their jackknife and shovel after everything falls apart. They're waiting for that. They're wishing for that. Let me tell you a secret about this kind of person, because you need to stay away from them. They want a collapse of society. They really do. They want a collapse of society. because, and you can ask yourself why, because I'm about to give you the answer, so I'll give you the question first. But Steve, why would they want that? Because here's the answer. It's a brutal, truthful answer. They aren't doing that well in this world. Simple as that. They are not doing that well in the world we all live in now. Okay? And they're dissatisfied. And so they're wanting for a collapse of everything. So they think they're going to do better in that world. Well, they're going to do much more poorly in that world because they haven't even had the strength to give their best in this world. They can be very poorly. All these people who think they're going to be, Jeremiah Johnston or something like that, if the collapse really happened, like they seem to want, they're going to end up being somebody's slave. As simple as that. If they're not dead. Oh, I know. What a way to start the week, Uncle Steve, with some truth. It's the truth. The truth of the matter is that you need to divorce yourself from that kind of thinking and those kinds of people, because they are constantly going to be wanting and preaching the worst instead of the best. Now, we talk about preparedness here, certainly. We are prepared. We want to prepare, and we want to be prepared for anything that comes down the road. But we do so in a way, and if you're new to me, I don't like the word prepper. I don't like the term at all. I prefer the term that I made up, PMP, or preparedness-minded person. That denotes a directed, just a second here. I'm still getting over the flu, so my mind's not working. A directed application of energy and your physical and your mental energy in preparing your life and building your life to be better every day while preparing to do well no matter what happens. Whatever calamity, whatever catastrophe comes along, real preparedness will prepare you for that, as opposed to wishing for a collapse of this or that or the other thing. Which just makes you, expend and waste, mental energy, physical energy, money, time, money, and energy, right? So we're in this situation now because so many people would not involve themselves in the political process and care enough to learn about the real issues and then actually vote for what they consider to be the lesser of two evils. You always vote for the best option you have. Because if you don't, you are supporting, by your lack of participation, the worst option. So those they are one of our enemies within, the ones who won't work, who don't have the guts to participate in the process. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Now, what about the wars and rumors of wars? I don't think it's going to get there. I know that this is it's going to throw a wet blanket on all those people who needed to be afraid today. I don't think that Trump, I know the great horrible person, I don't think that he will allow this to happen. This guy's a smart guy, so much smarter than most people think. And he can deal with these people. Everybody knows that Biden's weak. Everybody knows that Harris is weak. Everybody knows the Democrats are corrupt. And I say that I know some Democrats who are just great people, and they are not corrupt. Why they're still Democrats is because they're hanging on to a dream of the past. But liberals are corrupt, and liberals are, to an extent, evil to the extent that they support a communistic worldview. Okay. So here's my advice. Would you like my advice? Don't get all wrapped up in this. Don't let all these channels that are going to come out and tell you that war is coming. Don't jump on that fear train. keep yourself, keep it between the lines. Keep doing what you should do. Live a quality life. Enjoy this day. Enjoy this life. Whether you got a rainy day like me, make the best of it. You got a sunny day, do something in the sun. Apply yourself every day and apply those basic principles of preparedness that will not only prepare you, to do well in any whatever calamity comes along, but will improve your life today. That's what real preparedness is. It's not about running and hiding. It's not about being afraid. It's not about thinking that you can't do anything, that the world is, collapsing around you or whatever, and you can't do anything about it. It's a matter of thinking, well, the world can be a crazy place. Things will happen that I don't, foresee. Anything can happen to anybody at any time, anywhere. And I'm going to do those things that are simple, personal responsibilities and prepare for it. That means that I have extra everything. That means that I have all the things I need to continue to live a quality life for me and those who depend on me, regardless of what happens. That's real preparedness. If you want to get the story of what real preparedness is and you haven't read the Stonemont series, my books, I'd suggest you do. It'll be one of the best experiences of your life. And it will show you. It'll show you exactly how to go about it. And it'll change your life if you haven't, if you're a person who's still kind of, caught up in the fear of the fear mongers. It'll change your life. The links are down below. I always put those down below. And you can get them through Amazon or through my website, however you'd like to do it. If you get it through the website, I could sign them for you. And I love doing that. Also, I did want to say, I should have started off with this. I start off every day with posting something over on the Patreon channel. It could be a saying, a scripture, whatever it could be. And it's just kind of a way to start the day, a nice way to start the day positively with a positive, thought in it. And I tell you what, after I post this, I get so many people commenting and things like this. And you all on Patreon are just the nicest people. You are the nicest, most supportive, cooperative people. I just love checking the Patreon comments and seeing how, and kind of spending a few minutes with you all. It is just really, really nice. And any of you who are not with us on the Patreon channel who would like to come over, the link is down below. Please come join us. You'll love it. It's a group unlike any other that you have probably ever been a part of. And I didn't think about saying that myself. Somebody else said it. Somebody else said it recently. They says, I'm so glad this is the best group I've ever belonged to. And I agree with them because I enjoy belonging to it myself. Okay, well that's my message to you on this wars and rumors of wars. Don't let it shake you up. People are going to try to scare you. Apply yourself to those things that you know you should do, and keep at it, and keep adding to your preparedness. But as you do that, keep adding to the quality of your life. Every day you live should be a day of optimism, of positivism, and not negativism. And not fear, certainly. Okay? All right. We live in interesting times. You all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.